Okay, people, this week we have Call of the Wild. It's a dog movie starring an old dog himself.
Wait, is that the one with John Travolta and Ron Williams?
What? No, man, come on. Listen, we have a very nice lady coming to do the review with us this week, and we need to think of some classy, good ideas for the intro. We don't need to be farting around like you guys usually do. Besides some bad Michael Vick jokes and making fun of the CGI pup, I don't really have much. So, what do you guys have? Show me what you got.
So let's turn the AC down so we can see our breath, and then we can get a snowblower and it'll be full effect!
A bootleg Balto, or more like Snow Dogs with Cuba Boulden Jr., right? Because I like that one.
What about this idea? Yeah? Yeah?
Is it not in the budget to give away a Yukon?
We can, CG my body, right? Like, we can make that happen?
Can we do that?
I don't know this lady, but I think she would like this idea.
Hey guys, what'd I miss? Are y'all working on the intro without me?
Yeah, but they don't like my idea.
Ooh, doggy head.
I feel the call of the wild.
Oh, yes! That's what I'm talking about! I told you!
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Tavern Talk by Initial Reaction. I'm Philip, and joining me this week, Jenny Boulden. Thank you for being here.
Hi.
Hi.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. No, Jenny is a freelance writer. You write about film, among many other things.
Yes.
But obviously, film is the key thing here because we're talking about movies.
Yeah,
So-
I've been really passionate about it for about 20 years. I started following the Oscar race really closely when the first Oscar blogs came out, and I'm still just, I follow that race all year long and very geeky about it.
We'll have to do. You have to be in on the Oscar talk next
Yeah, that'd be
year.
fun.
That'd be great. But no, this week we saw The Call of the Wild, which is technically a remake, I guess. There have been iterations of the movie before. Most notably, there was one in the, I think it was it the 30s?
Yes.
With Clark Gable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting. That first Call of the Wild was, let me get this right, it was the last movie that 20th Century Pictures did
No.
before it became 20th Century Fox. And this is the first movie that 20th Century Studios did after they became, after they
crazy.
dropped 20th Century Fox.
I did not
When they were
realize
bought by
that.
Disney.
Right, because I've been seeing Disney promote this, and so and they've rebranded and everything. I did not realize that correlation existed. That's crazy.
It is kind of a weird coincidence.
But it's based on a Jack London novel. And just to put this out there up front, I have not read the book, and I was informed that somewhere in my educational journey, I probably should have read this book, but it just didn't happen. But you have.
Yes.
Okay.
I read it when I was a kid, and I loved it silly when I was a kid. And I was probably about 10 or so when I read it,
Okay.
maybe 12. But it was pretty early on. And I just remember thinking, great adventure story, dog, Yukon,
Yeah.
Gold Rush. And that's pretty much what I remembered about it. I remembered there was some hardship along the way, and I remembered a little bit about the ending. And I was an English major.
Okay.
But when I reread it this past week, I was just shocked. I mean, I kept thinking, oh my God, this is so brutal. It was so,
Really?
I was like, how are they going to Disneyfy this thing? Because, I mean, in the book, the brutality of it is just unreal. It's violence against dogs by humans, like getting just beaten to death, literally. And then there's violence against the dogs by other dogs, and there's violence against dogs by nature, and all of those combined, and the death count in that book is ridiculous.
Really? See,
Yes.
I didn't realize how or I didn't realize that the book was like, I thought it was, because when I was like, well, what grade do kids read this in? My wife, who's a librarian, was like, 7th, 8th grade or so. So I was thinking it was kind of like a good adventure novel, which is what the trailer kind of sold it as.
And it is, and the writing is beautiful,
Yeah.
and it's just as stunning now as it was ever. But I don't think, say, like if it were coming out today, I think it would get attacked by Twitter.
Yeah.
You know, if you're being too exploitive of dogs or something like that. And,
Okay.
so it was interesting. I kept thinking, how are they going to adapt this, and how are they going to make this a family-friendly film?
Yeah, so that being said, what did you think of the adaptation of it? Or what was your, obviously, like our bit here is, we just walked out of 2020's The Call of the Wild, starring Harrison Ford. What is your like initial gut reaction to it after so recently reading the source material?
I think families will enjoy it fine, and I think they will enjoy it a lot more than Jack London would if he were to watch it right now.
Okay. Okay. That makes, yeah, see, so I was coming at it from, I hadn't seen any of the previous movies and I hadn't read the novel, so I kind of was just like, well, I'm not going to even look into any of it. I'm just going to go in, not know what the story is, and just kind of give this thing a shot on its own and just see what it has to offer.
And that's what at least half the audiences are going to be doing anyway.
Yeah, and so I was like, okay, and I knew you were going, or had read the book, or were going to be rereading it, so I was like, okay, we can have some different perspectives here on what this new telling of it was. And yeah, but I'm mostly, like, within the first 5 minutes, I guess I'm jumping around here, sorry, but
No, it's
I
fine.
guess it's important to note, are you a big dog person? Are you a big dog lover? Like,
Wait a second.
Yes, I'm a
Okay.
huge dog lover. We just lost our dog a few months ago, and so I was, after 14 years, and
oh
so
my gosh.
I was kind of
Well, then I'm
trepidatious
sorry
about going
I was
into
gonna
this
say,
one.
I'm so sorry.
But yes, I was a big dog lover. I like dog movies. I don't see a lot of them anymore because I
Yeah.
don't have kids. But
And a lot of them are like overly sappy and
I want you to remember you're a great dog, Marley. You're a great dog.
they are.
you know,
they are.
they're very much hitting a certain demographic really
Right,
hard.
and you know, I'm just not an Air Bud person.
Right. Oh well, I loved Air Bud in '90 whatever that was, because I loved basketball and loved golden retrievers.
Right,
but
right.
no, I see. I wasn't raised like with dogs. I never had. I mean, we had dogs growing up, but they were always outside. It was never like inside dogs or anything like that. So I never got really close to a pet. But I could tell within the first 5 minutes of this movie, like the crowd, the audience that we saw it with, there were a lot of dog lovers because they were laughing really quickly at all the shenanigans that Buck was doing, or were feeling empathy, like with when he was shut out of the house and had to sit on the porch or sleep out on the porch and everything. And I was like, okay, this is going to play really well to a certain crowd. But no.
It begins where he's in Southern California, dog of a famous judge in town, and the house is so polished and nice, and they've got so many servants. It's like Downton Abbey. It's like having Beethoven in Downton Abbey.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. It's like, why did they even have this dog there in the first place?
Right. So there are all kinds of just goofy shenanigans, and make you love the dog. I don't think they, it took me a little bit to get used to this dog because he's not real.
That's the next big topic of discussion with this movie. Yeah. And I'm very much there with you. I was like, how are they going to make me buy into this? But then again, I didn't have a frame of reference, so I didn't realize. I thought Harrison Ford was the main character. I thought he was going to be our protagonist all the way through. He was going to come in, but he's not in the first 15 minutes, and then he's there for like a second, and then he's gone for another half hour.
So in the book, I reread it this time on my Kindle, and I think it was probably 67% before his character arrives at the scene.
Okay. So that's pretty.
So I mean, they introduced him way earlier, and they gave him these moments with Buck, the dog, before his main section comes up with Buck.
Okay.
And I think that probably works for the movie.
Yeah, I was just surprised that, because he's been obviously you sell Harrison Ford as the star of your movie if you get Harrison Ford, but I was just surprised that he did come in so late. and that the dog was actually the main character in this.
Oh, really? Mhm.
So yeah, because I didn't realize he was going. I didn't realize he was going to go through these stages of, being Bradley Whitford's dog at the beginning, and then Omar Sy's. He was going to be on his sled team in helping deliver the mail. That whole adventure, I thought this was going to be about a man and his dog just like making their way,
Right.
across the wild.
And if you don't know, that's what the trailer looks like.
Yeah, see, that was kind of what, but so it was more of an adventure, or like more layers to the adventure than I expected, which was nice, because I felt like it gave, even though it probably rushed through the pages of the novel, I'm assuming.
Well, it's a short novel, but
Oh,
yes.
is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's almost a novella, really.
I didn't realize the book was that short, but even that, like, I feel like it maybe was kind of speeding through the pages, but it still felt like we got invested enough in Buck as an actual character.
Yeah, a lot of the scenes are shot from the dog's point of view almost, at dog level at least.
Yeah, I didn't even realize, and we should note that it is kind of Andy Serkis there as far as the dog being a CG creation. Terry Notary, if you've seen The Square, it's a foreign film from a few years ago. He's the one who kind of embodied Buck, and also who shot the film, Janusz Kaminski, who is a frequent collaborator of Steven Spielberg's.
Yeah, he's excellent.
So, I mean, the film looked really good.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Did-
Aurora Borealis,
Yeah.
great Alaskan wilderness. You can't go wrong with that.
Did you settle into, I know we kind of got started on this topic because you said, how the CGI dog was going to be. Did you get used to it, or did it continue to take you
At
out
some
of
point,
it?
I just accepted it for what it is.
Okay.
I mean, they did it this way for a number of reasons, I understand, but, they can't emote on cue with the music like Buck could. And I think it'll work probably better for little kids. I think that they can actually react to that animated style a little bit more sometimes than just seeing a regular dog out there.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. Like, that's what I was telling somebody right after we got out. And this was directed by Chris Sanders, who has strictly done animated films before, Lilo and Stitch, How to Train Your Dragon, and The Croods. So, and large chunks of this, it looked like it was just wholly an animated feature, So,
Yes.
I mean, it makes sense on that level, and it does make sense. They had to, with this dog being the main character, he had to be the emotional core of the movie. So it makes sense why they had to.
Right, and it's easier on animals than not using animals in filming than using animals in filming. It's probably more expedient.
Yes.
And you don't have to put dogs, you don't have to push them down a mountain or,
Right.
that sort of thing.
No, yeah,
Throw them in
it's-
the water, et cetera, et cetera.
Very true. It's a lot more convenient overall, I'm sure, and just time, efficient, cost effective, all those things. But no, I like I said, I came in kind of not really knowing what to expect, but it was more of an adventure than I did expect it to be. And I kind of enjoyed it, and I enjoyed Harrison Ford kind of
He
playing
was good.
something
He was
different,
actually
like-
very good, especially since he didn't have anybody acting in those scenes with him.
Yeah.
He is gruff and soulful,
Right.
and I really enjoyed his character. I will say that the voiceover of his didn't work for me,
Yeah.
because it just doesn't make sense on a number of levels, and I won't get into some spoilers, but it just doesn't make sense. Also, just basically, how would he know what Buck's backstory is?
Right.
You meet a dog in the wilderness, you don't know he came from a judge.
Right. Yeah. It felt like very much they just had to use Harrison Ford a little bit more.
Let's just get some Blade Runner in here.
Right. But and you bring that up. It's like, because Harrison Ford's kind of been doing his greatest hits type deal of Indiana Jones and Han Solo and Blade Runner 2049 and everything. So it was nice to see him in a different role and something he felt. Because he did feel really invested in it.
I think so. He's a big dog guy.
Yeah, and it just, it suited him very well, and I enjoy it. The one character, Dan Stevens, is kind of the villain here, the antagonist, and is he in the novel? Is that part of the novel?
The characters in the novel, it's completely different.
Okay.
They just basically took a very inept and annoying and abusive character and turned him into the big baddie.
Okay.
And I thought he was a little over the top. Probably
Yeah.
not for kids. For adults, you're just going to roll your eyes a little bit, I think.
Yeah. Well, it felt like a movie, like, especially towards the end there, that was really just kind of about catharsis for Ford's character and like kind of growth for Buck and everything. And then they just threw in his third act
Yeah.
revenge plot there for just to add that structure to it, that traditional structure.
I didn't think it needed that.
I didn't either. Yeah, that was kind of my.
I think, they did a lot of things to make this a little more 21st century appropriate.
Yeah.
They inserted a lot more, found ways to put a lot more women in, people of color. In the book, I think the only people of color really are Native Americans who have a big massacre. In the book, until Buck meets John Thornton at about 65-67% through he has had nothing but brutality and pain.
Okay.
Absolutely nothing but brutality and pain.
Yeah, this movie is very much
and
for a family crowd.
That wouldn't make a good movie.
No, it's a very different. Yeah, that would be
it makes a good book.
Movie. Right.
But to adapt this thing and people will like it. I think the people who are interested in seeing it will probably like it.
Definitely.
And the people who aren't interested in seeing it are not going to miss not seeing it.
Right. No, I think it will. The audience that it is made for is definitely going to enjoy it. And me coming at it from kind of this blind, perspective, I thought it was fine. I enjoyed it. That being said, here on Tavern Talk, we do out of 5-star ratings. So, what would you give the 2020's The Call of the Wild?
If it were just my personal rating, I'd probably give it 3 stars. Since it's for kids and they'll probably enjoy it, I'd say 3.5.
Yeah. No, I'm going to go 3 stars as well. I thought it was fine. I enjoyed it. I thought the animation did take a little bit away from me, but I was more invested in the dog as a character. Saying that, I was more invested in the dog as a character than I ever thought I would be after seeing the trailers.
Yeah, but at the same time, I cry at mortgage commercials and I never shed a tear.
Yeah,
so
I didn't either.
That tells you a little bit of something about how emotionally engaged I was.
Yeah, no, see, I didn't either. I didn't shed a tear. I could see that's what they were going for, but I didn't either. So, it depends where you're at, with not even necessarily as a dog person, because if you're very much a dog person, I'm kind of in the middle there. But neither, it didn't evoke those tears from us. But no, overall, if you want to see The Call of the Wild, you'll probably enjoy seeing The Call of the Wild. So there's that. And if you are going to see The Call of the Wild, definitely do so at a movie tavern. As always, we want to thank them for letting us see the movie here, letting us shoot in the theater afterward. And big thank you to you for joining us. Thank you so much for being here. And we'll definitely have to organize the Oscar talk for next year.
Okay, that'd be fun.
All right, well, thank you once again for being here. Thank you guys for watching. If you like what you're seeing, if you like the movie reviews, definitely hit subscribe. We try to upload a new video of a review of the latest release every week. So thank you once again. Hit the notification bell. You'll get that notification every week. And until next time.
Oh yeah? Here's an idea. How about this?